drink champagne. I'm totally vibing. It's true what they say. It's all about timing.
Hi everyone, C Chronicles here. Welcome and welcome back to Unscripted. If you're new on this channel, I post vlogs as well as fragrance reviews. So if that style of content is something that you like, please do consider subscribing and joining the family. Now, to those who are returning, thank you so much for the continued support. The vlogs are coming back, guys. What I'm trying to do now that we have reached 1,000 subscribers, and thank you so much for everybody who has subscribed. What I'm trying to do is get to the 4,000 watch time hours, and I noticed that they accumulate pretty fast with fragrance reviews as opposed to vlogs. Otherwise, we're not changing. This channel is going to be about vlogs and fragrance reviews. Welcome to today's video. I have a little mini to test for you here. Vicebomb, okay, by Simone Andreoli, right? This is a 2023 composition, and this is the packaging. I'm going to show you the little bottle here, which is a 7.5 mini of Vicebomb. So that's where it says Vicebomb. There's a lot of writing there, so whatever you're seeing at the back is a reflection of what's at the back. So we're gonna spray this one on my arm. Why? Because this, I find, is a magnet on skin than it is on clothes. Okay, so that's plenty there. Now, what you expect from this fragrance, guys, is cherry. Cherry, cherry, cherry. If you don't like cherry fragrances, this is going to be the deal breaker for you when it comes to this particular fragrance. It's listed as having cherry, caramel, and red fruits at the top there. So it's going to be very fruity, because remember that cherry is also joined in there by, I think, strawberries, raspberry, whatever it is. And then the mid of this fragrance is going to be vanilla, sugar. Very sweet. I must warn you, it is a sweet fragrance, at least in the opening there, and some ylang. And the base is going to be tonka, amber, and precious woods. Now, the first burst that you're going to get is going to feel like a cherry liqueur. This cherry is going to interpret as very sweet. If you cannot imagine a cherry liqueur as in, mental shortcut, imagine a cider. You purchase a cider in a store, and it's a cherry forward cider that is very sweet, and you open it in front of your kids and you poured it in a glass, and it just gives you that burst of a cherry sweetened, thing liqueur going on there. It will be hard to convince your kids that this is an alcoholic drink. Okay, so I kind of get something that feels boozy there in that cherry, and it's going to interpret as very sweet in the first 30 minutes. The emphasis on this part is for the gents out there. This is a fragrance that if you walked in a store and you sprayed it for the first time, you're most likely going to walk out and say, no, it's a lady's scent, because it comes across as very, very sweet there. That sugar and a caramel doing the most, together with that syrupy sweet cherry, leaning even cough syrupy there. So it is something that I think as first impressions is going to put off, a lot of gentlemen. However, it is marketed unisex, so there is a reason to that. It's a fragrance that after the 30-minute mark or the 45-minute mark, depending on your nasal palate, it starts to open up, into like a floral, right, scent, still keeping that cherry. So one thing we need to agree here is you've got to love cherry fragrance. So the cherry holds on from start to finish, but then it opens up this like a floral type of page there, and somewhat gently introduces a woody tonka, and it does list that tonka in the notes. Okay, so there's going to be a little bit an underlying woodiness there that makes it somewhat of a fragrance that a man would say, oh yeah, I think I could wear that. And then in that moment it shifts. It's not a linear fragrance. It's got the one thing in common that the cherry is not going to change, but it's got two facets to it, in the sense that it starts off as a boozy cherry, kind of reminding you of a cherry even in lost cherry, and then in the 30-45 minute mark it switches off to become a fragrance that's very reminiscent to MFK's Gentle Fluidity Gold. I'm not going to boast of owning that fragrance, Gentle Fluidity Gold, but I do have a dupe of it as well as an oil of it, enough for me to recognize that DNA, guys, in this particular fragrance. So if you have smelled Gentle Fluidity Gold by MFK, as well as Tom Ford Lost Cherry, and that wafts of like a ylang and that vanilla that you get from Gentle Fluidity Gold with that embery swoosh there, it's gonna feel like those two fragrances intertwined, had a baby, and then created this. So mental shortcut, that's what this fragrance is gonna be about. Whether it's gonna be a pro or a con, I don't know, guys, but it's unmistakable. And it's unmistakable to an extent that I can say, if you do not like gentle fluidity gold, because that's what you're going to carry most of the way, which is 8 hours, 9 hours plus. If you have a problem with that gentle fluidity gold, you're not going to like this, because the cherry is going to be there all through to the end, but it's going to have that prominent wafts of the gentle fluidity gold. Unmistakable. Like when I sprayed this the first time, I was like, First I said, oh no, this must be drawing inspiration of Lost Cherry, and there was something that was missing there until it shifted, and I was like, no, wait a minute, what happened to that fragrance? It becomes a prominent, almost clone of that gentle fluidity gold, playing around with a cherry backdrop there. So that is what you expect from this fragrance. It is a beast performer. The composition in itself comes across as thick. This is a cherry with weight, okay? I think because maybe of that sweet sugar note there, working with the caramel, and then the weight of the tonka, and then those woods, it interprets as a thick concoction to my nose. It does come across as a fragrance that would hold its own in cooler weather, cooler nights, even winter. Okay, that is exactly what I get from this. This is going to also appeal to those who love to wear fragrances for compliments. Somebody is definitely going to compliment you. This is present around you. It's the sort of fragrance where if you spray it, say I've sprayed it in my closet there, I left and then I closed the door and came back because I forgot something, or came back 2 hours later because I'd just gone across the road there to chit chat with my neighbor. Opening my door, I'm still going to smell wafts of this. So it does have somewhat of a decent lasting power, so it's going to be value for money. I think the only con to this fragrance is going to be if, for instance, you're tired of the cherry note, because remember the cherry note kind of did a sweep there in was it 2021 or 2022, somewhere thereabout, with the Tom Ford Lost Cherry, and a lot of companies kind of weighed in using the cherry note. For instance, BDK's Rouge Smoking has got a cherry. Tonka Collar by Montserrat has got a cherry. That Tom Ford Lost Cherry has got a cherry. A lot of dupes of that Tom Ford Lost Cherry, even Keali's Love First Burning Cherry. So the only con maybe to this one being a 2023 composition would be the fact that the cherry note is maybe something that that's a has been. Perhaps, that's all I can say, but I see no fault in this. I see a fragrance that, say I was gifted full bottle, I would use. It is a very enjoyable, scent there, and kudos to Simone Andreoli. I'm not sure of his other creations, but I think this is nice. If you love that combo, and if you have gentle fluidity gold in your collection together with Tom Ford's Lost Cherry, or a cherry forward type of fragrance, not Rouge Smoking, because Rouge Smoking is not that cherry forward. It's kind of like a shy type of cherry. If you have a very cherry forward fragrance, like say Montserrat's Tonka Collar, or you have the Tom Ford's Lost Cherry, or you have Zara's Cherry Smoothie and that gentle fluidity gold, try spraying the two. Okay, try spraying the two, but spray more of the gentle fluidity gold than you will of the Lost Cherry. Leave a little tester paper there lying around. Okay, leave it lying around, smell it from time to time and see if you like the composition, but do remember to amp up in your senses that sweetness, because this is a very sweet fragrance, sweeter than Tom Ford Lost Cherry, sweeter than gentle fluidity gold. So nice fragrance overall, no qualms with this one. I like it, guys, and it does say the perform intense, so I do think it does leave to its intensity. The entire lasting power for this fragrance, in case I didn't say, is potentially the whole day. So let's say maybe 9-10 hours plus, depending on the number of sprays. Remember, mine is just a tester, so I go easy. Even as I sprayed my clothes, I was able to smell it the whole day, but I had to spray it sparingly because I had to keep some here for the review before I just go, all in on the bottle. So I can say it is a decent performer, but I find that it does work very well, with the skin. It lasts way, way longer on your skin than it does on the clothes or even on a tester paper. C Chronicles is my name. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. Let's meet in the comment section, guys, where we'll obviously discuss more about fragrances. Let me know your thoughts on this one. Meanwhile, like and share this video, and do turn on post notifications so that you are notified anytime I upload a video. Stay safe, stay blessed, And I'll see you next time, guys. So bye for now.